What's good, y'all? What's good? Very shocking performance by Shakur Stevenson on Thursday night. He won the fight and everything. He got a unanimous decision on Edwin De Los Santos. But man, that fight looked at horrible. It looked at horrible on both sides. And it's not even about De Los Santos like that. It's about what Shakur did because his past four fights, Shakur Stevenson has looked like an absolute animal. But now he jumps in there with the puncher and he looks just like the Nakatilia fight again. The Nakatilia fight was the only fight in his career where he received heavy criticism because he had admitted that Nakatilia hit him with some and he just didn't want to take no chances. And here he does it again. And he's been ripped on all across the YouTube boxing streets on Friday. And the reason that is because Shakur Stevenson was looked at as the most avoided fighter. And he still will be the most avoided fighter, but for the wrong reasons now. Pitbull Cruz, when ordered to fight Shakur Stevenson, say that they don't want to fight him because he's just going to run around the ring. And I bash Pitbull about that, and Shakur goes in there and does that. Shakur was in the media talking a big game, talking down on everybody, which me personally, I like because you got to have some type of personality if you want to be a star. You know what I mean? You know, he calling out everybody for ducking. Like he was talking his shit. He was talking real good shit. Like, I'm not going to lie. You know, his past four fights, he looked at like he was able to do that. Like he had a reason. It was kind of valid to me because he was looking like the best. And people were turning down fights with him. So I really didn't mind the shit that he was talking in the media because he kind of deserved it. But man, this fight was horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. As far as the fight, Shakur Stevenson, he won on the judges' scorecards. One gave it 7-5, 115, 113. And he got 2 8-4s, 116, 112. So it's a unanimous decision. And that was a surprise because you hardly ever see this man lose one round in the fight. So this by far was his closest fight by far in his career, you know, that he just edged it out. But in the ring, he looked it bad. Offensively, he didn't do much outside of a jab. He barely threw hooks. He threw hooks, but not as often as other fights. No straight left hands, no power punches like that he threw. And defensively, he was moving too much, way too much. And he got holes in his game, even defensively, because on defense, he was like when he got the reflexes. He see what Edwin De Los Santos about to punch, but he backs up so far. Like he backs up so far that he can't even counterpunch. Like he's not a great counter puncher, was what I learned in this fight. Um, because like he takes himself out of range. Like he does more than dodge the punch. You know what I mean? Like you supposed to see. That's why other people get hit more than him because they just weave and try to catch and shoot. He ain't really got that catch and shoot game like that. But he doesn't get hit like that. The only time De Los Santos laid any gloves on him was when he punched with Shakur and he touched Shakur to the body, a couple times during the fight. But neither of them was landing like that. Shakur, he was only landing his jab. De Los Santos showed good defense as well. And offensively, the holes that I seen from Shakur was, of course, the lack of output, the lack of taking chances, and also like he don't know how to like diffuse power and like beat the hell out of somebody. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them great like boxers, like them outside fighters and stuff like that, like they'll stand right in front of you and like they'll have them angles when you throwing your punches that'll like bounce off their shoulders and all that. And they like counter you with 2-3 punches and standing in the pocket, like beating you to the punching with you. You know what I mean? Like Bud, like you gotta give it to Bud. And you seen it in Devin Haney's fight with puncher Linares and Lomachenko. Like Like guys be skilled to the point where they're not big punchers, but they standing right there throwing more punches than a puncher. You know what I mean? Like kind of making the puncher smother his work, making the puncher like not, really get that clean shot off on them while they do their thing. That's what Shakur has a problem with. And Nakathila, he got beat up real bad by Raymond Muratalla in the second round. He got knocked out in the second round, and he just got knocked out in the second round by another prospect, Tito Mercado. So that win over Nakatili has been looking way worse for Shakur. He just don't know how to deal with punchers, man. He don't know how to deal with punchers. Like this fight looked it so bad, his stock dropped so low. Like, do you know how high people was looking at this man before this fight? Like they were saying he's the best fighter in the game. Now I don't even want to see him against Tank Davis. Hell, probably not even Devin Haney. I don't even know if I want to see the Haney fight. But if they get it on, I'll support it. It's just, I don't know. He needs practice. He needs about three or four fights with straight punchers. Straight punchers. He got to learn how to diffuse and smother that power so he can get his offense off and throw more punches. Like he got like quick hands too. Like what he did in the Jamel Herring fight, where he like stood in front of him, he threw like a bunch of punches. Like he got to learn how to do that with punchers. Like Jamel Herring wasn't a puncher, and he's smaller than him. Like people, don't give him credit for the Valdez fight. I mean, he looked good to me in the Valdez fight. It's just Valdez smaller than him too, and De Los Santos, he looked like by his same size. He was shorter, but that's all. Like as far as an outside fighter, he's one of the You know, I don't even. He's great at that. I don't even. I'm not even gonna say he's one of the best in the game because when he dodges punches, he can't counter punch like that because he backs up so far. Like he takes like 3 or 4 steps back, and he can't catch and shoot like that. Like there's ups and downs to that. But before before I ain't gonna lie, before the De Los Santos fight, I had Shakur easily beating Tank. That motherfucker was looking like a monster in his last 4 fights. And I had him beating Haney too. What's good? Flawless mentality. Yeah, Tank will fuck him up and Devin will beat him up. Yeah, that's just how I see it right now too, bro. That's where I'm at with it because this performance and De Los Santos, he only knocked out one guy of note, El Rayo. Like his power isn't like proven. Like he's not like one of the biggest punchers in all of boxing to be avoiding that man like that in the ring. And De Los Santos, he didn't even try to cut off the ring. So Shakur was just moving around. But it's not about De Los Santos. Shakur, people stayed up late at night to see Shakur Stevenson fight, to see how he would deal with this athletic puncher. And it was a shit show. It actually was. His stock fell so far. You know, it's sad to see. He went from maybe the best fighter at 135 in the whole world to, man, there's a couple guys that I might take over him now. I want to see him fight Raymond Muratalla next. Like next. No Tank, no Haney, all that's out the window. But if you did that with De Los Santos, he definitely gonna haul ass from Tank. And De Los Santos, them scorecards was kind of close. So I know Tank can do a little bit more, and Tank can actually win a decision on Shakur Stevenson. Like I take all that back. Like Tank can either knock out Shakur or he's gonna win a decision because them close rounds, Tank's the A side. Like you gotta beat up Tank for real to really get that decision. Like Bivol and Canelo. And Shakur, he ain't gonna walk down on Tank like that. It's crazy because he has the tools to do it. He got quick hands. He got respectable power. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have a chin like that, so he don't want to take chances. And I think, and I'm starting to kind of believe those rumors that he got knocked out in sparring before this fight. You know, he must have had a bad training camp. They say that Liam Paro, the 140-pounder, knocked out Shakur hurt him or something like that. But this is bad, man. That's Shakur. He's got to prove himself for real. Like he's a 3-division champion now, but them big fights, I don't see him getting them no time soon. No time soon. You seen Haney was on pay-per-view with Lomachenko, and you seen what he did. He was coming forward. He was throwing big shots. He fought Lomachenko, tearing his body up. You know, left hooks, strong left hooks. He was trying to hurt Lomachenko ass. That That was a real fight right there. Every left hand Lomachenko landed on Haney. Haney responded right back with a right hand. And Shakur, he was clowning Haney for getting hit. Like he be clowning Haney for getting hit, but you got to show dog, man. And Devin Haney clearly has way more dog than Shakur Stevenson. I'm not even sure if he can beat Lomachenko right now. Not looking like that. Not looking like that. But of course, he's got potential. He got potential, but he gotta develop a little bit more. He only got like 21 fights. He need to fight like 3 punches in a row. He gotta learn how to stand in the pocket with these guys and beat them up. Like you can use your defense, but you gotta throw punches too, man. Especially if you want to be a pay-per-view star, you gotta beat people ass. You know what I mean? Like how he did Yoshino, he got to do that to a puncher so he can really get that respect because he's the laughing stock right now. And, it's sad to see, but that's just the fucked up thing about boxing. You only fight a couple times a year. He's going to have to hear this scrutiny for about 6 months straight, bro, before he can fight again and try to prove himself again. But we just got to see. We got to see what the future holds for him, and people not gonna want to fight him now. Like Robert Garcia was on the Boxing Voice yesterday, and Raymond Muratalla, the fight that I want for him next, they say that Robert Garcia, he sounded like he don't even want him to get in there with Shakur, like, because he feel like, oh, well, my guy can punch too. So if he did that with De Los Santos, what's he gonna do with him? Like people, like he's the boogeyman now for the wrong reasons. But Shakur, he's got to get his career back on track. I'm gonna see what's up. I'm gonna still support, but damn, man, he got a lot to prove. And I'm gonna be back, y'all.